Hello, I'm Bobby Wilson.
Hello.
Lucy. We're Wilson's Farm and Kitchen. I was very worried at the start of this when Paula was talking about Fluffy Moos, and sort of learn where we're going and where we've been in this. So if you want to flick it on, Caroline. So I guess why did we go down the agritourism route? Well, I don't think we actually realised we were going down the agritourism route. We were just diversifying like other farms do. We're a relatively small tenanted family farm, and some of the farms we have on tenancy are not as secure as the home farm. So we've got limited scope to expand there, although we might be able to keep the land in 3 or 4 years' time. It'll be on it'll be more in a contract farming arrangement. And then add on to that, obviously, the concerns with the future of agriculture with Brexit and concerns just, I guess, the red meat lobby as well, just people against that. So it was an obvious route for us, diversification. Go on, Caroline, that's right. So it started, we've got a lovely old stable, 19th century stable on the farm, cast iron fittings, and it was basically just filled with junk and lawnmowers, and it was turned into a garage, and it was just sitting there doing nothing, and we thought it would make a lovely accommodation for people coming to the farm. So we took a bit of advice, and it's right beside the farmyard, and people want privacy just now. Everybody's got nice buildings on the farm, but what's it going to cost to convert them? And when you see the likes of what Murray's done with the new huts and the new builds, and the original cottage there in the corner, it was, looked a bit tired compared to the other 4 offerings, which obviously done upgrading now, but you can tell in the photo that was the original sort of leap into it with accommodation, and this would have been just the same. We couldn't go down the route of mediocrity. It had to be good, and there's no point in putting a lot of money into it when it was right beside the farmyard. Our plans moved, and as Paula talked about with our offering there of bringing people out onto farm and educating them and show cattle training and with hen parties and things like that. It was plans moved towards that. So, and we managed to secure some leader funding, which was about 37,000, and without the project, we wouldn't have been able to do this to such a degree, and we are grateful for that, although it may have aged me a little bit in it. So if I could go on to the next slide, that'd be great, Caroline. So these are some of the things we did. We did a farmer assault course, and the show training, lassoing. We had a pig agility course as well, which people took pigs around an assault course over jumps and through tunnels and things, which on some occasions we were just slightly concerned from a welfare angle. Nothing was ever hurt. We knew the animals were all safe, but some of you could just see people just a wee bit worried. So it was a lot of fun. It was relatively successful, maybe not as much as we wanted it to be, but it was growing. So if we go on to the next slide. So obviously we started that in 2017, and the Monitor Farm project came along in 2019, and it made us rethink a lot of the aspects of what we were doing, how we approach the business, like Alison was saying about costing time, things like that. It was probably some of the days in Fluffy Moos definitely didn't pay for us when we reassessed our time a bit differently, and the skills and the different ways to develop our offerings and look at what the customers wanted and were looking for. They helped a lot, and Alison, went through some of those skills that we're all learning about the digital and the e-commerce, and it massively helped us. So obviously with COVID stopping us, like, all our activities were group bookings and people coming from all around the country, then it gave us a little bit of a chance to have a rethink. So next slide, Caroline, please. So because we weren't doing anything, Lucy decided to do a bit more catering. Lucy has been catering for the days we had in Fluffy Moos, and on the Facebook page when reviews came in, the activities were good, but the food was great. So it was a natural development for Lucy over the last year. And Lucy can't speak, but I'm just speaking. I don't need to think I'm doing this meal thing.
No, you're fine. On you go.
Okay, so the Lucy's customers were very much appreciating the authenticness of the food, using our own beef, and there was just a natural fit to move forward. The trends that we've learned through monitoring farm meetings, through Visit Scotland advice, are what was said at the start of the meeting about people looking and to engage with the local areas. So moving forward, we're going to be very much a food and farm based offering, specialising in local and seasonal food. We'll still have the opportunity to do the training, the show cattle training side, but we can do that through the pedigree side of the business. So, but it just didn't fit, like eating Fluffy Moos. It wasn't. We just didn't think it was just quite the right fit. So that'll have to be run through the pedigree side of the business. I can't see the bottom of my slide, so I wasn't sure what was going to go on. But anyway, the support we've received from, through the Scottish Agritourism sector in the last year, just it's not been as helpful for us because we weren't open, but some of the chat in the WhatsApp group, just people slashing costs, applying for funding, anything to help their businesses through some pretty rough times when it was such a core part of the business. But going forward, and in the last week while as things are looking to open, it's been essential for us. Support of Caroline behind the scenes is outstanding. I don't know how she must put up with all the WhatsApp messages and the emails, but it's such a great rock to be built on, the Scottish Agritourism network, and we're really confident with it going forward, and look forward to development in the e-commerce side of it as well. So yeah, I think that's probably it.